All right, folks. Anybody, if anybody out there that doesn't know me, okay, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Okay, for those of you that don't know me, I'm Dave Rockwell, W4PXE. For some reason, they made me the section emergency coordinator, and I was hoping when Daryl took over that but no, he decided I need to stay. I think, right?
Nope, can't leave.
Okay. All right. Our agenda tonight, obviously, this is our call to order. We'll do some introductions. Then I want to concentrate on the simulated emergency test dark start. And then I'll mention the ARES communicator and some of the updates on the ARES websites. So hopefully, if we have time, we'll finish up with discussion and questions and answer and do some planning for the next meeting. And then we'll adjourn. All right. Chuck Johnston, are you with us?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Good readable.
Okay, very good. I'm here.
I don't think Randy will be with us. Anyone from Charlotte County?
Hey, Dave, an update on Randy.
Okay.
He has moved to Ocala. He's no longer in the section. His wife got into worse health, and they moved into a semi-assisted living facility about 3 months ago, and so they're living in Marion County now. He's no longer in the West Central Florida section. They were selling off some of his surplus equipment at the Highlands County Hamfest in February.
Yeah, I was aware of that because, of course, Helen keeps us updated on the Florida phone traffic data about Randy's
Yeah.
status. But I, you know, I, in the emeritus position, even if he's out of the section, I'm inclined to keep him because of the contributions he made for all those years, unless you have an objection.
Nope. Carry it on by all
Okay.
means.
Anybody from DeSoto County? Hardy County?
Unfortunately, I can't get out of that either. I'm
You
here for
need to
what it's worth.
recruit some new members down there, Derek.
Can't find them to recruit them.
Huh?
There's no warm bodies to recruit.
How about Highlands? Anyone from Hillsboro? Manatee? I know we got somebody from Pasco. You're muted, Tim.
Yeah, I just waved hi from here.
Oh, okay. That's good. Pinellas, I think I saw Will Scott.
Will Scott, W7WMS.
Yep. By the way, Will keeps us straight at Pinellas ACS. And I think you go to every one of the Wednesday meetings, don't you?
Yes.
So Polk County, I think we actually have the EC tonight.
Yeah, you have me, you have Ben, and we have Jean.
So how about Sarasota?
That'd be me, Mike, KG7KIQ.
Yes, you are. That's fantastic. All right. The slides are a little out of the order of the agenda. Want to remind everybody that there is a Find Your ARES group on the page. And if your group hasn't already done it, make sure that you've registered your group on that web page, and these will all show up. Each one of those is one of our ARES groups in the local area. So you can go to the ARRL website and play with that a little bit. All right, let's talk about Dark Start. First off, I want to commend Chuck Johnston and Sanford Wyatt for organizing a fantastic exercise, and for Russ Delaney for making us a pretty picture. So, Chuck, since you're on the phone, I'll go ahead and facilitate the Dark Start if you have no objections.
That's good, sir. Thank you.
All right. The exercise scenario was a cascading power and communications blackout starting on the East Coast and moving to the West Central Florida region. It called for all 10 count ARES groups to bring up their tactical resource net to identify available operators and report the resources to an area command. We had participation of all 10 West Central Florida counties. We had, and Christine might say a little bit more about that. I know she was down there. I think, Daryl, you were down there as well.
Right.
They set up the Peace River coordinating cell down there at DeSoto, and they had a number of observers from the emergency management units. Several of the counties included their CERT groups, and I think that's something to keep in mind for the future. The objectives for the exercise were to validate the NI4CE inter-county capability per the memorandum of understanding we have with the West Central Florida group. We wanted to assess the ARES and ACS reporting procedures in each county. We wanted to reinforce training and operator readiness. And we wanted to improve coordination and mutual understanding among our West Central Florida ARES and ACS groups. I think we achieved those objectives.
Mhm.
For the strength, all counties participating. Many of the operators demonstrated use of effective emergency power. We did learn that NI4CE can effectively support a multi-county coordination. Our EM managers for a couple of the counties gained insights into our ARES operations, and some counties included their CERT groups. Areas for improvement. There was a general consensus that we need to do a better planning and coordination among the ECs for future simulated emergency tests or exercises. And the CERT participation was not consistent. The perception that the perception was that county participation varied quite a bit. Some counties did a lot. Some counties didn't do much. Some counties didn't have much. But one of the things that we ought to do is to probably have our members a little bit more motivated to participate. Call sign usage was a little bit of a problem. Over the next year or so, we need to stress the use of tactical call sign. Tactical call signs were inconsistent, and many of the operators did not include their FCC assigned call sign when they closed their transmissions. Timeline was, there were some inconsistencies, probably partially my fault, and we will work out a timeline for the exercise a little better in the future. The weather reporting requirement, although basically our Skywarn weather alert team really wanted to participate, so we did bring them in, but I think we need to integrate the weather reporting a little bit better. Some of the lessons learned: clear, standardized briefings are essential for multi-county exercises. Plain language. Many of the emergency management partners didn't understand some of our ARES and amateur radio abbreviations and terminology. In the future, if we're looking for resources from the different counties, we need to have a standardized reporting format, and that I think would improve the efficiency of our reporting. Tactical call sign discipline is critical during regional operations, and a couple of places had some equipment problems, so it's probably a good idea to verify equipment configuration and documentation before the exercise. All right, let me pause here and see if there's any other comments on Dark Start. Do you think this is a pretty complete assessment?
Well, if I'll start and say yes. I would have liked more advanced notice that it was coming out, but actually we had quite a few turned out that I didn't really expect. So yeah, I was pretty pleased with it. Yes.
Okay, Christine?
Well, let's see. I thought it was really good, basic beginning to get all of us together. I think we're going to have something more involved with injects in there so that we have to do a little more work. Because right now the only thing that every county had to report was how many people they had on board and whether or not they had the ability to operate without electrical service. And I thought that was good. We needed that. I know we had made a list in Polk County of everything we had available to us. And I think that was good if everybody could do that so that we knew what every county had, especially you as the section emergency coordinator, so you would know more about where all of your if you needed something from one county to help another, so you knew where that help might come from.
Sounds good. Hey, Will, I'm just going down the list.
I think I agree that it established that we could establish an area-wide net and report up from our tactical resource nets. The problem with for example, some of the tactical call signs, a tactical call sign like ESF2 without a county name or anything else doesn't tell you very much about where that information is coming from. So I think, yeah, definitely those are some things that need to be worked on. But overall, I think it was a success.
Thanks a lot, Daryl.
I thought it was a good exercise and it was something different to think about. And it's a reminder that our only, well, how do I want to put this? This time of night, my thought processes are not the best. I do my better thinking in the mornings, but but what I found out, what I thought was good was we exercised a scenario other than a hurricane scenario, and it is a reminder that we're not just limited to hurricanes. Other things can happen, and we need to be cognizant of that fact. So that's what I liked about it. It was something different, and it was based upon an incident that really did occur in real life. That in not in our area, but in others, and it could happen here. So I thought it was good to think outside the box for a change.
Mr. Johnston.
Well, I'm making some notes here. You hear me now?
I can hear you. A little bit of an echo, but you're fine.
Okay, very good. Well, one of the things that I put into the scenario was I built it a lot like I did with High and Dry 1 and 2. And this was really Dark Start 1, and it had a very narrow focus, and that was to make sure that everybody could find their way onto the N4C system, work with a central coordinator, and the whole idea of where we didn't give a lot of pre-notice was intentional. because usually in hurricanes, we're talking about, okay, we're at 72 hours out, we're at 48 hours, 24 hours, what have you. Something like this would happen, and it would be saddle up everybody, we got to get ready to go. And there may not be communications failure yet, but what you would want to do is basically turn everything on. So if the worst case scenario did happen, you're already there. You've got a place to be able to go and everybody to turn to. So the chaos that was there was baked into it on purpose. And looking at that first operational period, which that's where you've got to clean all that stuff up. And by the end of it, and actually this right here really shows it, y'all have cleaned all of that up. So what I'm proposing is to do like we did in the high and dry 1 and 2, is that we have a dark start 2. And it's not at the beginning. Everybody knows what's going on. We've already kind of got our feet on the ground, and now it's another operational period into it. And things are running out of fuel, and we've got sheltering situations and all these other tactical situations. So the getting together part of it, which is the most critical part, and I used to have an incident commander that I worked for, that we'd be overseeing an operation, and it was constant radio chatter, and then all of a sudden it would quiet down. And whenever he goes, okay, we're making headway now, the radio chatter went away. Everybody knows their job. Everybody knows where they were supposed to be. Everybody knows what we need to do, and they all see the whole big picture. We've shared enough information that everybody's on the same page, and the radio chatter settles down. And that's where I would think the next operational period would be that. And then have some pre-planning into it where we would make sure that these other groups were there. But this was a let's hurry up, huddle, and go for it, which, as Daryl says, it's different from the hurricane. It's a different situation. So hopefully those parts of it, they were there on purpose. And some of the things like the radio static that we were getting, because we made them use a jump kit instead of using the base station at DeSoto County, could be real life. The base station just doesn't work. And you've got to, what else are we going to use as an alternate? Those kind of things were kind of baked in there. So for a real quick operation, I think we got a lot out of it. I hope you all did. I certainly did. And I think the emergency management people, they left and told me, hey, we got a chance to be able to see beyond our borders what's going on, and ham radio gave us that as an opportunity. So they see this as a completely different capability and resource that was out there, is what they left with in their minds. So for that, I think it was a good deal. So I'll turn it back to you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Chuck. Good to have. Tim.
I too thought it was pretty good. I was, I don't know the word to use, but I was hoping maybe, or not expecting more injects. But certainly we had the time and resources that we could have handled a few more. I didn't have the ability so much to, other than poll the folks that were on our resource net. I didn't, not knowing how the scenario was going to go, I didn't have anything ready for them. I don't know if I understand the premise of the dark start. We don't always have warning, when two trains crash in the night, but had we had some pre-planning ahead of time, maybe we could have had for my ARES folks, pre-planned to keep them entertained while we were on the NI4CE. I didn't notice any tactical call sign breakdowns or anything. I seemed to know who everybody was when I needed to know who they were. So certainly look forward to part two.
Sanford.
Okay. Well, what Tim said about and what Chuck said about the pre-warning. Okay, we're used to doing hurricanes. This situation actually happened. Now, you're not going to have any pre-warning. So this phase one or start one, whatever you want to call it, was okay. Everybody woke up in the morning and we don't have any electricity. That's exactly the way it's going to occur. And to see how that happened, I think everybody responded quite well, and they weren't intended to have any pre-notice. It was okay. This is happening, and we have to adjust. We have to come out and do what we're supposed to do, what we've been trained to do. So in that respect, the next phase, as Chuck said, will have we already have some pre-warning in phase one. We know what's going to happen. The next situation is how do we cope with it in a workmanlike manner. So that's one of the things that I brought up. And the other thing that I was really pelted with over in DeSoto County was the plain language communications. And this is the second time that I've been involved with directly with the EOC management from different counties. And they're right. It's been brought up before. Christine was sitting next to me and she agreed with me. They don't know what a QSL is. So we need to get away from using ham talk and even 10 codes. Some of the people use 10 codes. Now they do understand those, but you still there?
Yep.
Okay. And like Christine brought up, she works directly. She's probably more directly involved with the EOC than any of us here. And plain language is, without a doubt, has to be implemented in the communications with EOC, or you're going to lose a lot of communications and a lot of you're going to be in a gray area with them. So, and the standard reporting format would probably improve the efficiency also. Now, I know a lot of the counties use, because I'm ARES net manager also, and on the net, but a lot of counties use ROI, or, reporting forms within the county, so they already know what stations have what capabilities and what type of backup power. So that should probably be implemented into the entire West Central Florida group. So at least we have a standardized format. And Manatee County uses it. Sarasota County uses it. Charlotte County uses it. Those are the ones I'm most familiar with, and I'm sure the others do. But maybe we could come up with a standard format for this type of situation. Tactical call signs, well, sometimes that gets forgotten in a critical situation. And like Tim says, I know most of the people in there because I talk to them at least once a week. And so I knew who they were. So it kind of slips my mind sometimes even to give my call sign. And that's about all I have, Dave. And as everyone says, that's my story and I'm sticking to it. So I'll send it back to you.
Thanks. Ben, any comments from you?
Yeah, I just my only take on it coming from my retirement status experiences, I'd like to see more of a paid staff, and I'm sure there were a few on some of the counties. I can only speak for Polk County, but it would be nice if we had a joint region inject from the county emergency management themselves. They're the ones that are going to request information from us. And so, and I know they've gone through, some of them have gone through training to where they've actually done the exercise design folks. and they can actually put together some stuff that's realistic, real world. The no notice is extremely important, particularly in this kind of scenario. And I would like to have seen more participation on the paid staff side. Granted, it's Saturday. However, I know there's funding available for training annual funding for salaries or overtime for some of these folks that are on the paid side. But it would be nice to have a little bit more participation on that from my observation. I thought everything else that you guys were doing was fine, Dave. I think you're running a great ship here, to use a nautical term, and I think everything's firing on pretty much all cylinders on that. I know Gene and I and Russ were all at the Polk County EOC, and we're still working out all the little nuances of the radios that we have there but we have them all, GMRS and HF and VHF, UHF. So it's always, exercise is always good, even if it fails. That's the whole purpose. Is I'd rather fail, in peacetime than bleed in wartime, as we used to say. So, that's the whole purpose of exercise. Get all the cobwebs out now, so when the balloon goes up, we're ready for it. So that's about it, Dave. Thanks again.
Any comments, Gene?
Yeah, I was messing with the equipment. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now.
Okay. Yeah, kind of everything Ben said, with reinforcement on the standardized reporting, both in the county and across the section. I mean, that would make things easier, I think, for everybody. And then also from an operator perspective, having an exercise is great, and I hope that we have an opportunity to do more than just one a year. So, but all the other major items have been captured. Thanks.
Yeah. Our plan is to try to do a couple a year. Okay. Thank you very much, guys. I think we've gotten some good feedback on the exercise. I don't want to belabor the point. Any of the counties have initiatives that you wanted to talk to the group about? I'm not going to go down the roll call because I want to get us out of here pretty quick.
Hey, Dave, this is Chuck.
Go ahead, Chuck.
If I could, sir, if I could be released, I just got a text. My granddaughter is getting ready to sell her pig here in a few moments.
Hey.
And so we'll see if she has a college education or not coming up.
Hey, when it's time to sell the hog, you sell the hog.
You sell the hog. So it's bacon time. Thanks, everybody. I appreciate all the hard work, and we're going to do some more stuff with this and take it to the next level. That's for darn sure.
Looking forward to it.
Okay. Thank you, Dave. Appreciate it.
Anybody else for the good of the order?
I wanted to say I really appreciated it, and we shook a lot of bugs out of Polk County. We had a long list of things we wanted to fix, and that's because we had just moved our entire radio room, and so we were getting everything, all the antennas with the radios and all the little particulars worked out. But I really enjoyed it. I thought it was really neat getting everybody to work together and to be able to talk together. So I thought it was a good exercise. I know the people that came from the volunteer agencies that really were excited about the program and the fact that they got a chance to watch us work and see all the things that we could do. They thought, oh, this is a resource we hadn't even thought of. And so I thought it was very good for that. I think next time I would like to be able to involve more of those volunteer agencies so they can see what we have to offer.
Yeah, I think that would be a good thing. And we are going to do a little bit more planning on the next one. I do like that we concentrate on what I call an all hazard scenario, that we're not just doing hurricanes, because that's where we actually get to pass our skills. Okay, folks, let's see what I got here. Any open discussion that we need to carry out?
Dave, I have a question for the group. Is anybody doing anything with mesh networking like Meshtastic or MeshCore? We're starting to look into that here. Craig Fugate made some remarks at the Oxcom forum. Just wondering if anybody else is doing anything with that right now. Mike?
We are in Pasco. The two East Side clubs seem to be pretty excited about it. Heavily invested. You know, we all have our little toy. Oh, that's not showing up on the green screen. And we all have a little toys. We kind of partner with Spring Hill Amateur Radio Club, who has also jumped on the bandwagon pretty heavily with about 25 repeater nodes dispersed throughout Spring Hill. Here in Pasco County, just about every ham who had some free money has gone out and bought their little nodes. We're expanding it. As far as moving it towards MCOM, we're not quite there yet. It's still just a fad toy for us. But we do have some interested folks that are building the infrastructure repeaters and routers for it. A couple of us have experimented with ATAC. We ran a first aid booth with Dade City at the Kumquat Festival, and got to meet with Dade City, their drone team and such, and they were heavily into ATAC. And we've been able to integrate ATAC with our mesh network here in Pasco. But again, it's just being used at a hobby level, not for MCOM yet. And then, of course, in our discussions with the Dade City drone team, we got deeper down the rabbit hole. So it's growing here in Pasco.
And I just saw a note in the chat from Dwayne Hunt. They're apparently doing some mesh network operations at Charlotte County, and we'll look forward. In fact, I'll keep that in mind, and we'll make it one of the topics for our in-person meeting in May. And maybe some of you can enlighten us on what's going on with the mesh networks from an MCOM standpoint. Mike, did you have something?
Well, I just want to say we're rebuilding our mesh system. We're going to stick with the 500 megahertz, and we're putting in new dish antennas on the all 4 or 5 of the hospitals now. So we'll be able to reach South County, and that might be able to tie into Charlotte also. So we'll just have to see once we get it up and running again.
Any other items for open discussion?
Well, I had one on the comment on the mesh. We just so happened the LWRA, the Lake Wales Radio Club, had a presentation by Todd. I forgot his call sign. Gene could probably fill me in on that, seeing he was secretary, but real good presentation at the club meeting last week on mesh. There's some activity here in Polk County on it. They're looking into it. There's a few other the guys that have it. I personally don't have it, but definitely see the benefit of incorporating mesh into the all comprehensive communications there. That's all I have there, Dave.
Sounds good. Anything else?
Okay, I've got one question then real quick. Is there going to be a specific site on the West Central Florida ARES webpage so we can list our capabilities at each of the counties?
I am going to refer that question to our webmaster.
And well, if there is a desire or interest, we can create a subpage for that. it's not a problem. And I was going to ask Dave, and I see you answered the question that about the first annual ARES conference. Now, wouldn't that include the morning sessions as well for those who wish to attend, if they want to attend them?
Well, remember the morning sessions. The morning sessions at the PSOC that day is the in-person Skywarn training.
But I didn't know if you was going to include that as part of it for those that need it
No,
or
it's
want a refresher or whatever.
I'm not actually lumping it in with our ARES, but I
All
am encouraging everybody that needs their Skywarn credentials to look into that. And and the best way to find out about that is to go to the Tampa Bay National Weather Service site, and they have that information on their Skywarn page.
So that's pre-conference. Okay.
That's
Right.
pre-conference.
All
I
right.
plan the conference to be about 2 hours. For some of you, it's a long drive, so I want to make it worthwhile. But two, it is a Saturday, and I don't want to take up your whole Saturday. But I will be probably in the next month or next few weeks. I'll start working a tentative agenda as subject matter. If you guys want to talk about some things at the conference, send me your ideas.
I'll do a press release when you're ready for it to announce it.
I think we can announce it because Bill Miller has confirmed that we have the building for the afternoon.
All right.
And
it almost might be worth making it 3 hours to have enough programs to make it worth their time to drive to it.
Well, I mean, we've got the room till 4 p.m. So
I would use it all. Just my thought.
Yep. And Daryl, you might want to talk about maybe a group could join you for lunch.
Oh yeah, that's fine. And we'd have to do it. Let's see. Just a thought, we could order pizza in again, like we did for TechCon.
Well, let's talk more on that.
Yeah, I'd say that's a topic for future discussion and just a thought off the top of my head.
Okay. Well,
I got a comment if we can jump in.
Go ahead.
Backing up a little bit to the capabilities and the web page. Whatever happened? Am I still unmuted? Okay. Whatever happened to the I think it was a Google Doc or some sort that Clayton Parrott created. I know last year, a year before, we were, or even 2024, we were all encouraged to fill out this form with our EOC capabilities. And the other part of that is the reason they went to that Google Doc. I guess there were some EOCs that had reservations about their capabilities being public. Is that still available, and is there still reservations about capabilities being public?
That was the document that I had talked to you, Dave, about. And because it had been suggested to me, and Clayton actually made it and put it up, and it was there for a long time, but I don't know what happened to it. My access to everything got taken down when I wasn't part of the ARES whatever leadership anymore.
Well,
or the section ARES leadership.
I know in the Coast Guard Auxiliary, we routinely post both PDFs and some of our guys use Google Docs. And we post it under a password. But that's one way to protect it. But then you have to have everybody promise not to share the password outside the group. But let's talk about that more, and I'll touch base with Clayton. I'm absolutely sure Clayton's got the that document, and we can look at it and start filling out the information. I know Mike Drake's tried to get similar information a couple of times, but there are counties that are a little reluctant to give everybody their information. But I think as we have the exercises and we start working together, people will have more of an interest in sharing rather than being stovepipes. But
Dave,
go ahead.
yeah, this is Sanford. Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. Back when, and Daryl probably remembers this, Christine also, because hers was the last post. West Central Florida had a Groups IO page, and it was quite active for a long time. And then all of a sudden, Christine was the last post in it. You can go look at it now if you still have access to Groups IO, and that was 2 years ago. So I don't know what happened to that, but it was pretty active for a long time there when I was involved with it. That's all I had to say. We do have the capabilities there, so they just aren't being used.
Well, perhaps we could, Daryl, let's talk about maybe putting a link to the group IO on the website if it's not there already.
All right. You want me to drop it into the chat? Now I'll go get it.
Yeah, you can drop it in the chat now, but we should probably have it on the. Are we going to use that as an ARES or for the whole West Central Florida section?
Now, when the Groups IO list was set up, it was for sectionary staff and ECs. That was what it was set up for at the time.
Okay, well, let's. I would think that would be good, and I think we should invite probably ECs, AECs, and their designees.
Oh,
I
here
can
it
get
is.
you information. I remember that Groups IO. I was on that Groups IO. I've since been removed from that Groups IO, you know, from a few years ago.
Yeah.
So whoever has control of that Groups IO, you can certainly add me back.
I'm working on. I'll get you an invitation here in a few minutes. What do you
Do
put your
you have
email address in the chat?
do you have control of that site, Daryl?
Yes, I'm on it right now. I'm getting ready to drop the link here in the chat when I get back to that window. Here it is.
Okay.
Yeah. Area staff.
Oh, I think it's Dwayne that also had the GMRS, and I think that's good. I think it's a great way to reach out to other people who use not ham radio, but use frequencies and radios. And I don't know, we did it. We did quite a bit of work with them here in Polk County. And I feel like we added well, at that time it was about 900. In the summer, it's more like 750, that more eyes on the ground, boots on the ground when we have emergencies. So I think GRMS is and it's also a great gateway to get people into ham radio. So I'm glad to see Dwayne talking about it.
Yep. Daryl did.
What's that now? I'm sorry.
Daryl dropped the link in the chat, so
Okay.
everybody can do that. And yeah, and remember, I want to echo what Christine was mentioning that Dwayne had put in the chat is for emergency communications. Citizens Band and GMRS are fair game for including those groups in what we're doing. Although they're not, quote, ARES members, they are public service communicators. So we should, embrace that group as much as we can. Well, I think I might have taken more of your time than I planned. Unless there's any objections, I'm going to adjourn the meeting. Thank you very much.